I was on £5 a week at the time.
Here we go.
So I was on £5 a week, and I just got into the England squad. Do you remember?
How old were you?
17.
I'm fine.
I was living a life.
No wonder it didn't quite work out, Micah.
But we've already done that, so let's not go back to that. But he did try to do me one of these times.
Anyway.
So he tried to do me. He offered me double money, so £10 a week.
What? Who?
Stuart at the time. But I just got into the England. I was just getting England.
You're bursting.
Exactly. So I ended up on £50 a week. He tried to do me out of £40 a week. So every time I see him, I just laugh at him. He was at the World Cup when we worked at the top
Pearce
spot.
never made it as a manager, paid him £50 a week and put him centre forward.
Can you imagine how you're paying a 17-year-old fullback £50 a week?
Good times.
Game's gone.
So then, the story goes on.
Oh, God.
So do you remember the whole time when you had to have so much English players for the quota? So Man City offered me $5.5-year deal on £100 a week.
At what age?
I was old then. I was 26.
Oh, right.
26.
Offered you
£100 a week, $5.5-year deal, and I said no. Yeah, I said no because
You did what?
Yeah, exactly. Because I was number 2 behind Zabaleta. And I said no.
You just wanted to play, didn't you?
I just wanted to play. That's what I mean. Love of it. Look at me. So I'm not all about the money.
Have you recovered from that decision yet?
Why do you think I work for every broadcaster? I need to top it off.
Idiot!
I went to Aston Villa.
On 120.
No. That was less money. But then we got relegated in the first season, so my wage is half. So I've gone from £100 a week offer to like £25 a week in the Championship.
It's still a living.
Well, not a living for big meeks, you know what I mean?
Spend it on his
I was looking
champagne
at all
parties
sorts of
in Vegas.
houses.
Oh dear.
Imagine what you'd have been worth if you had it stuck in.
No
wonder you can't stand Pablo Zabaleta.
Honest to God.
MR2 turns down 100 grand.
Balotelli was always late.
Right.
So we used to give all our money to charities. So by Christmas time, we'd have like 100 and 150 grand in there.
Wow.
Just from Balotelli.
Just from Balotelli being like, wow.
Yeah. But it wouldn't be like purpose. It would be in the building. So like we've got a meeting upstairs.
Yeah.
Like he'd just be downstairs, like relaxing. So he'd be in the building, come to the meeting. Like he'd just, I thought it was, you know what I mean? He's just a bit dozy, like that. But the rest of the fines look normal, work in order, to be honest.
And that would be normal at whatever club you are at, would it? That kind of thing?
Well, when I first joined City, it was probably 10% of that.
Yeah.
But when I left, it was probably at this rate. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So what would it always be being late for training as the most severe fine? Is that the ultimate taboo?
Yeah, because if a manager and your coaches have set out a session and you want to spend a specific time on that, and a player comes out late, it's just disrespectful. You know, the important one as well is that just say like you've been given a day off and you've gone out on that night, and then you try ring the doctor. Doc, just cover for me, please, because well, you know, man, I've got a bit of a headache. You know what I mean? That's why that one is so high as well.
Right, yeah.
Because too many players are starting to do that now, and the managers are getting wiser to it.
Do all managers have a fine system? Did you play for anyone who didn't?
All managers had a fine system, yeah, but every season it got higher and higher.
Just for you or for everybody?
Just for everyone. I was never late. I was never late, but we had a fine for fighting in training.
Really?
Yeah, I think that was like £5 grand. And I was used to fight in training. Just because
I mean, define fight.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Scuffle.
Right.
Yeah, let's not say fight. Scuffle.
Okay.
You know, if I'd lost or someone tackled me back, we'd have a little, and I always used to get fined for that.
Do the players then police the fine system themselves?
It's difficult because, you know, Kompany.
Yes.
He's busy, isn't he?
Yeah.
He just looks like that person anyway, and he always kept a track of the fines, and because I was sort of like vice captain, one of the leaders in the dressing room. He'd tell me to take charge of it, but I'm not going to say to the manager, "Oh, player was late today," or "Player, didn't put his bib in the washing machine." I'm not going to do that. So it was only if Vincent Kompany caught you.
Right. Okay.
So the lads were avoiding him.
So that's quite weak on your part.
Yeah, it was really weak.
Well, it's not.
Lack of discipline.
I'm not a snitch.
But so
No, I don't. But to be fair to Micah, I totally understand that if Vincent Kompany's basically asking Micah to narc, then that's not going to help Micah.
no, that is true.
That's not
true.
really fair on. Do you not find it?
Did you have to go?
Mind? Does it not strike you as someone who hasn't worked been in a football team because we weren't very good at football, as we've established? It's quite infantilising, don't you think? It's a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd take that very well. You sort of think, look, I'm a grown up. I can police my own behaviour. Do players mind being fined for not putting your bib in a thing? Do they mind, or do they just kind of accept it?
You could appeal it
Okay.
as well. You had to go with Vincent Kompany into the manager's office.
Did Vincent Kompany have like a wig and
But he
ermine?
had a fine sheet logged of all the fines.
Vincent Kompany.
Yeah,
This
he's like a school teacher. Headmaster. One of those guys who when you see him, you just turn the other way.
But you were like the cool teacher who wants to be friends with the kids.
Yeah, I tried to be friends with everyone.
So did you ever have to go up to Balotelli and tell him that he was late and going to be fined?
I
And you
told
have to
him.
collect.
Yeah, I told him.
Right.
I'm going to let you off today. But with Balotelli, it was like every other week, so I could only do so much,
You
Like,
want to get him to set up a direct debit in that situation.
then Kompany's looking over my shoulder, making sure I'm doing my job right.
Would people have to give cash to Vincent Kompany?
I think you had to sign like a disclaimer form to make it come out your wages.
Right.
So there was no real getting out of it.
And who's doing that paperwork? Is Vincent Kompany doing that
Obviously,
paperwork?
Vincent Kompany, yeah.
This is extraordinary.
That's what I mean.
This might be the best bit of radio I've ever been involved with. Where did he have like a ring binder file?
He had a locker.
A locker dedicated to his paperwork.
Yes, he was all organised. Lads are throwing stuff all over the place. And Kompany's just so organised.
So his actual locker in the changing room.
Yeah, so sometimes he used to have a padlock as well. Him and Nader Manua used to have padlocks on their lockers. So us lads used to just
Was Nader Manua involved in the fines process as well?
yeah, he's like a genius though, Nader Manua. Isn't
Yeah.
he? Like he's like
He's a very
clever man,
He's
yeah.
a very clever man.
he's got everything.
I mean, some would say too clever.
Yeah, but it's boring though. Boring. Chief is boring. he's in a fantasy football group I've got as well. I always call him boring.
Oh right, okay,
yeah,
right.
yeah. So
Has he got John Lundstrom?
he's not. He's in it. He was in it last season. He's just in the group, but he's not actually doing
a
fantasy
lurker.
football. Yeah,
Right, yeah.
Right.
yeah, just overseeing it.
Yeah,
making
doing
sure
the paperwork.
All collaborators right. Yeah. So we got because a padlock, and we got them like a bolt cutter.
Yeah.
We used to just yank his locker off, and then just mess all of his locker because.
Did you get fined for that?
No, we didn't get a fine for that at all because
Well,
there was no cameras.
The paperwork wasn't in order. You can't issue a fine without the correct paperwork.
And Vincent,
That's obvious.
when he used to do it, Vincent Kompany used to be angry.
I'm not surprised. Well, you took a bolt cutter to his locker.
Well, it's all a bit of banter, isn't it?
And then
Right
did you
for
take
being
his
busy.
fines folder out of the locker?
We just used to throw it across the changing room.
Oh,
Was it a ring binder folder?
He had all sorts of different. He had chemistry and because he was studying, wasn't he? He was at
yeah, he did a
business
He did a
degree.
business in
so
a
he used to
master's
have
in
everything
business.
all immaculate in his locker, and we just used to all mess it up just for being so busy.
And that is why I'm glad I was rubbish at football. couldn't have dealt with that.
There was a serious point, but all the money that was collected in fines went to charity.
It either went to, it was like split half. It was, a lot went to charity and a lot went to the staff, around
right.
the kitchen staff and
Yeah.
the groundsman and that
Is
sort
that
of thing.
once Vincent had deducted his administration expenses?
And cost for a new padlock and some new folders after they've been destroyed.
Yeah, it was intense.
Is there someone like that at every club? Like the paperwork guy?
James Milner was a bit busy as well,
Right.
but you could have banter with him, whereas Kompany was just straight-faced.
Do you think there's an argument that instead of using the word busy, you could just say responsible?
You can't be responsible. You're only responsible when you go over the white line. In the dressing room, it's just banter. You know, we can't have seriousness in the dressing room. I remember winning up 2-0 at Newcastle. Yaya Toure scored both goals. And all we had to do was beat QPR at home. And I'm thinking am I going to be starting all through the season? I was Mancini's guy, you know?
Well, I'm not surprised you creep all over him all the time. The sounds of it.
Yes, Roberto. No, Roberto.
The day of the game, I've never been through so many emotions in my life. So we get called into the room. We have our pre-match or whatever. And then we go into the room where he's writing the team. And I'm always a second player if I'm going to get picked, because when you write on the board, it's always a goalkeeper and then you start with the right back. He's wrote in Joe Hart. And I've never watched someone so closely what letter he's going to write. So
P.
if he starts on the left, it means he's going to write a Z or a Z and go straight across. If he starts in the middle or at the end and goes down first, it's going to write an R for Richards. And what did he do? He goes across like that. Zabaleta. Honestly.
He's had some impact on your career, Zabaleta,
Really
hasn't he?
he's had some impact on my life. And I just thought, this. I was going in there. I was shocking in the warm-up. I didn't do the warm-up properly. I was doing like skills, which I have no skills. So basically, I was just kicking the ball up and have it is what I was doing. And then...
Did you not go back in and say, Mr. Mancini, I really respect your decision. You're such a great coach.
But Mancini, the thing is though, he wouldn't even make eye contact with me because he knew what he'd done. And what happens into the game? What happens? Zabaleta scores the first goal.
Did you cheer and jump up off the bench?
Did I cheer?
Gary, you know what? We need to get the video of him sat there.
I know, sat there.
I've never been so angry in all my life. And then fast forward, obviously, they score again. And I always think with Mancini always used to start with a 4 and then go to a 5. But he was chasing the game. So even more, I know I'm not going to get on the pitch because he needs to put attacking players on there. And then QPR score, my feelings change. All right, it's not about me, it's about the team. Then they score again, and all my feelings about myself just went out the window. It was about the team then. Then Dzeko comes and scores, and then Aguero scores. And it was just like I was in paradise. It was like everything was in slow motion. It was jubilation. It was disappointment.
We thought that when we saw you play.
Gary, can you imagine being bombed out for the biggest and best moment in Premier League history?
That's what I mean. I can't sleep. You know what pisses me off more than anything? Oh, what was it like to play in that QPR game?
You've got over it then.
No, I'm not over it. I genuinely burst onto that scene, banging down all sorts of doors. Honestly, there was no one like me back then.
No, there still isn't.
I love it.
So did you
So I was
really that spectacular?
no, honestly, that age.
I remember saying decent things about you.
Alan Hansen.
We were there. We did
Alan
it.
Hansen, Alan Hansen. And I was, that age, I was just fearless. I was England's youngest ever defender. Yeah. Youngest. I
How
scored,
old were you when you played for England?
18.
18.
Yes. I brought some records as well who are on the list. We'll go to that a little bit later on. I come second in the Player of the Year at 1890, only to Steven Gerrard. Yeah. Yeah, you not read the notes?
Yeah, of course I did.
They didn't put them on the notes. They don't put all my accolades on the notes, did they?
I should have had more Premier League medals. I finished second twice.
Yeah, I should have done a lot more with my, more serious.
Should have
with
stayed a teenager, maybe.
Yeah, I would have been. Yeah, but it happens to us all, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
No.
Got the nights out and the money and all that stuff. It can affect you, can't it, Gary?
If it lets you.
Well,
Is that what you
Let it
think?
affect you.
no, I always worked hard during training, but outside of training, I could have done a lot more, definitely, 100%. And a lot was injury, but then
I think that was because of what your life outside of football was.
I think it played a role because once you get injured, you go into a different
How young were you when you
Headspace.
got your first proper injury then?
18,
Yeah,
18,
what was it?
19, knee.
the knee one.
Knee. After you do your knee, and I know we laugh and joke. After you do your knee, and it's very rare you come back. Like you had cruciate, didn't you? Two cruciates.
One right cruciate and left one was a torn
Or
ligament.
torn
You've got to be
ligament.
really hard and tough and mentally strong to come back from that, Alan, yeah?
Not a chance.
What it requires.
But at least with a cruciate, you can repair it. When I had my lateral meniscus,
Yeah.
I get taking it out
bone
every
on
year.
bone, isn't it?
Every year it's getting worse.
Yeah.
So you can't twist and turn. And that coincided with me going out every week. It was never good. It was never. I remember.
Well, what didn't you think to yourself? Maybe I'm not giving myself the best chance here, boy.
You know what it was? It's because it was too easy for me. Because I was always faster than... Look, if I was at Man City, the way they were now...
Too easy for you on the pitch.
Just everywhere, I was...
So did you think you were indestructible?
I wouldn't say that. I just got a little bit big-headed. Don't forget, look, you look at Man City squad now. Genuine superstars, isn't there? When I was at Man City, there wasn't really... it was more good youngsters and stuff like that, and I was given a bit too much too soon. So you just down tools a little bit.
Financially, you mean too much too soon?
Yeah, financially. So I went from, and I'm not afraid to say, because the papers and the document it. I went from $5,000 a week to 50 grand a week.
50 grand a week at what age?
19, from 18 to 19. That's what I mean. So I'm on what, £2.5 million a year.
This is not in the last couple of years either.
This is in what, late 2000s.
Oof.
So imagine, I went from 500 quid to £5,000 a week, and it was fully deserved at the time. 50 grand a week, it was more because I was an asset. So if they wanted to sell me.
Well, you were a teenage superstar.
Exactly. But when you go from that money,
Do you think because it came to you that soon, you weren't mature enough to deal with it properly, and therefore you went off the rails a bit?
I didn't spend money and waste
No,
it.
it wasn't
I've
the
got,
money that
I've
was
got
the
loads of
problem.
property. It was different because you're going out and you're buying everyone, like, you want to be the man, you're running around the town, you're going on. I went to LA one time. And honestly, in one night, we spent 150,000. Honestly, on just drink and having a good time, and it's just...
That must have been one hell of a hangover.
That's a lot of drink. I want to know what the good time was. Or actually, I don't think I do.
But remember that, you can get Magnum bottles and all that, but you can get the Jaeger bombs. It was like $35,000 just for one. And I remember I was booked for 3 weeks, and I don't mind telling the story because I was booked for 3 weeks. I left after 2 weeks because I was just like
Skinned.
I can't. Yeah, I know. I can't carry on like this.
No, you can't.
I can't. And it was just you think you're in because you're in that. People understand you only learn that for a short period. It might be 10 years. It's still a lot of money, but you can easily spend it.
Well, you can on nights out like that, yeah.
And it was those sort of things that was more. But on the other side, I did invest a lot of money as well, so I was all right.
When was it that they fired Sherwood and brought in? It was Renegard, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, when Remy Gard come in.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And I don't like slaughtering managers, and we've spoken about this before, but he was.
Apart from that, he was all right.
Honest to God, I was like, you've got a great pedigree, you've gone to Arsenal, your influence around French football must be massive. So we're all thinking he's going to bring us something different. He come and he was like, okay, when you take the ball, don't put your foot on top of the ball, you have to touch it and then pass it. It was like ABC 1, 2, 3 stuff.
Well, you were that bad.
We were, I don't know what, we were that bad, but I was just, and I think he was a nice guy as well. So I don't like slagging off people.
You just got it.
But he was more than he was shambolic.
Oh, God.
2007 qualifiers, England versus Croatia.
Oh, crikey.
All we need to do is draw the game and we go into the Euros. It's as simple as that. Croatia at home.
Goalkeeping error.
Scott Carson. And the team we had that day, I don't think we had any Rio, any John Terry. It was like a mixed bag team. Beckham was on the bench. It was all over the place. But we thought we could get a draw.
That was the Brolly game, wasn't it?
Wally with the Brolly. McLaren.
McLaren, yeah.
It was, that was terrible. I think my player rating after that game at best was a 2.
You were that good, right?
But it was a 2, but I blame Scott Carson. I blame him. I'm sorry. He's at Man City now, taking all the accolades, getting the treble winners, and all that, medal after medal, and he cost me £1 million. He cost me £1 million sterling, not euros, not pesos, not francs. That was my bonus. Get to the Euros. So much appearances for England. You get more money on your contract for Man City.
Did you never play for England again?
I played, but I was a bit part player. As soon as Capello came in, yeah, I was one of the players who we...
You'd only have blown it in Ibiza, Micah.
But it would have been great.
From Johnny Thompson, what was the strangest injury you or a teammate picked up during your careers? One of the lads in our team recently stubbed his toe in his kitchen. Turns out it's fractured and he's now out for around 6 weeks.
I have, but it's quite sexual. It's not really... It's not really for this pod.
It's okay. It's mostly adults listening. What do you mean? No, you can't leave it at that. Come on, Micah.
So basically...
I can see it. It's going viral. It's going viral already.
It's not, but... Obviously...
You got a virus. Oh, dear.
This is the thing is, you can't go into detail, but basically... I was having, yes, I was having something
fun.
Yeah, I was having fun. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
And as I was having fun, I slipped off the bed and stretched my leg and did my hamstring. So I rolled over. But the thing is, though, I was totally fine in training. So when I go back to training and the physio have asked me, what have you done and whatnot? And I just said, no, I've just got some pain down my back. I felt it in the game, but I didn't really want to say nothing. But it was all just because of that moment. But it was, they don't know the truth until now, to be honest.
Brilliant.